I remember as a kid in school, my science teacher would use the phrase, well, according to NASA, and this is why we go after NASA so hard, because they are the band, and these two guys are the lead vocalists.
Flat Earth is here to destroy their legacy.
Finite. Because all they got is textbooks and CGI that brings your imagination to the nonsense. Stay flat.
Stay flat.
People obviously, you're supposed to. People name their pets. I don't have any pets or anything like that. So I have little earthly possessions. And my camera, my P900, I just named it Logic. So its name is Logic. My car name is Danita. I don't know why, it just came to mind. And she's fierce. But about Logic and his observations, back in the, late 60s, when they supposedly landed on the moon, and the Earth was cropped into the background. Back then, I bet half the world didn't know that feature existed. So it was just amazing how it was done. But like late 90s, early 2000s, you're making collages, you're putting pictures together, copy, paste, And, it came to pass. It's something that's old now. But back then, you couldn't tell. So for that picture, the famous picture of the alleged moon landing with the Earth in the background, it actually looks smaller than what the moon looks to us now. So if the moon is smaller than the Earth, how does the Earth look that tiny at 238,000 miles away? Then when you come to, let's just say New York, and you look up at the moon, I can't fit the whole thing in my camera, in Logic. I can't fit the whole thing. I have to move around. I have to circumnavigate the moon to get like a nice picture of the whole thing. I'll zoom in too close. That just ran across my mind. How is the moon? And the moon is not big, so how is the moon that big to us? In the videos I show you that I do, and back then, on a alleged moon landing, you look back at Earth, it's a damn near dot. Come on now. Is it true, like, you have to have a certain type of mind, or some type of level of intelligence to know when you Google something, or you ask Google to look it up for you, and you get the results and it just doesn't make sense to you? It doesn't make sense, and then it's most likely a programmed answer. And if you just take the answer and go, see, told you, like you believe what they're telling you, do you think logically? Do you have to have some type of higher understanding with reality, your reality, your senses, to know that something doesn't sound right and it's for the narrative that is forever going on? Something like, I was just getting ready to pick up my phone because I want to talk about this, but I want to pick up my phone and look at, like, what would some glober come up with a formula for the earth spinning the way it is, because I'm already waiting for them to say, oh well, to us it's really space-time speed, that's why we don't feel it. So I was going to look to see how we don't feel this 1,000 miles per hour spin and 67,000 miles rotation of going around the sun and flying through space at 480,000 miles per hour. We don't feel that, but we feel the wind. The meteorologists can tell us, if you're heading out to work today, grab that jacket because it's going to be a windy good day. You know that some people are getting blown down the street with some of this wind. Some people got to hold on to a damn stop sign pole. So how is that wind doing more damage than what the earth is said to be causing, with that spin, and we don't feel it? And I'm going to hear about the atmosphere, and I'm going to hear about the gravity, and we're shielded by this magnificent atmosphere that don't let the space speed affect us. Now, does any of that make sense? Because that is the only place it's going to go. There's nothing else outside of that would make much more sense. So I think I'm starting from the bottom at least. It just don't make sense to me. You have scenes in movies where people fall in love at first sight. A girl, papers get blown out of her damn hand, and a guy, with his hair all nice and shit, comes in, excuse my language, but I'm always talking about people's hair in movies because it's just perfect, comes in and they both kneel and he's picking up a paper and then they lock eyes and, yeah, the wind blew the paper. The wind just came out of nowhere. Just whew, for that moment. That twin flame moment for these two people to meet. Yeah, it's a movie, I know. But the wind. How is the wind more powerful than ridiculous speeds we're said to be flying?
A little chubbier. Yeah. Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
People say atmosphere, I say firmament.
Pear-shaped. Pear-shaped.
People say flying, I say stationary.
The fuck?
People say science, I say Yahweh. I don't hear from them anymore. It's just like holy water. And it does the job. Now, another topic I want to talk about is when we're going through school and like training or something, like even at my job, we do training, and you just want to get through it. Alright, it's like 3/4 of the day is gone, you just want to get through it. 3/4 of school is gone throughout the year. You want to get to the summer. You want to get out of school. So, like, I could take my job, for instance. They'll say, hey, listen, I think we're ahead of time. If we can get through this process, we could probably get out of here like an hour early. Unless you guys have questions, But anyway, yada, 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 yada. Then you have some of my coworkers sitting up at the front of the class and turn around and give you that look. Like, don't ask no damn question. Okay. But suppose you need to know something, I mean, the job seems simple, but suppose you have a question. Just because this person want to get out an hour early so this instructor can speed through the course. We don't ask any questions. We don't ask any questions in school. We just want to get that diploma and get out of school. Who the hell wants to ask questions? Just something that they might not even be doing when they graduate. Ta-ta. I almost sound like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America, the old guy in the barbershop, but ta-ta. That's where it is. We don't ask questions. So, when you don't ask questions, you have a brain full of shit. You have a brain full of stuff that you just believe because you were told. I was told. We were all told. So now it got ridiculous, and now we start to question it, and here we are. We're going back and forth with people who don't have that higher intelligence like I spoke about at the beginning of this video. Like, you just accept anything, like from Google, or you'll accept anything from TV or from actors that are / astrophysicists, and they're just like you and me. They picked up a book and read it, just like you can also. But then you have to know where to separate these things in different categories. And the best way I could have done it is go out and try to do some experiments to see if it adds up to what the world is. Okay, because now you told me the radius of the Earth, so it is subtracted by certain numbers to make up for it. As far as you can see, you would use those little bit of numbers and go, okay, well, at least at this distance, this is supposed to happen, and it doesn't happen. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. If a science experiment is wrong, it's not true. It's not what it said it was. It has to be done over. Maybe they got the measurements off. But no, it still comes out that way. So the main thing I want to get to is, do people think logically? Or they just go with the status quo? I try to speak and think logically. That's why I feel great. I'm not upset at all. Not upset at all. I'm just learning learn this whole new thing. It's just a whole new lease on life. I saw like a video, a title for a video, like, oh, the flat earthers are back. It's like a brand new religion. I don't believe in religions. Neither does Yahweh or Yahshua. The religions is also what you've learned from that man, that Satan. So you speak in Satan words. It could never faze me. When you speak Satan words these days, I detoxed my whole brain, the entire thing. And I started from scratch. Here I am. And I'm going forward. There's nothing nobody can say, like they can come up with anything. Anything. And I have people writing on my channel, in my comments, like novels. I can't even get halfway through it without them talking about some type of CGI proof. How the hell is CGI proof of a ball? Nah, man. You're done. All you guys are done. Flat Earth was never resolved. That's why it's still here. That's why it's still here. It was never resolved. Because back then, they had these telescopes. What are these, Atlas telescopes? What you see in the Atlas app? You just stand there holding a regular telescope that can only see but so far. No, now we see further. We see further than the telescopes that they used back in whatever hundreds. 1700s, 1800s, whatever. Copernicus and all of them. They didn't have the technology we have now. Now we see further, so Flat Earth is back. Yes, because of the technology. So blame the engineers for letting us see a little further than Copernicus and them did. It's not our fault. Just don't add up. Stay flat. This is Jay. And I am Logic.